Oh man, you hate to see it, you hate to see it, you hate to see it. Hey everybody, welcome back to another Game Vault video. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault. And we've got another I Told You So moment today. So let's cue up the music and we'll get right to it. Alright, so the big story yesterday was Concord is done. They're shutting it down after, 2 weeks? I think since release date. Abysmal numbers and all that. But we're going to look at a couple stories here real quick and just kind of skim through them and talk about this. So the first one here is from a couple days ago. From today. Firewalk Studios Concord turned transgender singer into free gunner Baz. So this is what we're looking at in this game. Is this kind of DEI laced garbage, right? Now, granted, the game had a lot more problems than this, but this is just part of it. Who wants to play as this freak of nature? Look at this thing. I don't even know what it is. You know, it's creepy looking. It's not aesthetically pleasing in any way, shape, or form. It's just awful. You know, the shoulder pads, everything. The baddest. Yeah, okay. Play Concord. How about tagging that with Get Woke, Go Broke? Just a stupid looking character overall. Then you got Lizzo here with her tank outfit. Don't tell me it ain't Lizzo, it's Lizzo. So, we're not even reading the story. I'll link to it down below, but we all know the story. The game came out 2 weeks ago. It had abysmal numbers, yada, yada, yada. They removed the LGBT and political tags from it. Still did terrible. Sweet Baby Inc. was involved in it, if I'm not mistaken. The Steam charts, it just plummeted. Boom. But let's get to the actual story itself here. PlayStation pulls the plug on Concord, shuts the game down after less than 2 weeks, and offers full refunds. Firewalk Studios announced the shutdown. The servers will no longer be selling the game less than 2 weeks after it released. In a blog post, Firewalk Studios game director Ryan Ellis announced at this time we've decided to take the game offline beginning September 6, 2024, and explore options including those that will better reach our players. He also shared that the company will be offering full refunds. While we determine the best path ahead, Concord sales will cease immediately, and we will begin to offer a full refund for all gamers who have purchased the game for PS5 or PC. If you purchase the game for PlayStation 5 from the PlayStation Store or PlayStation Direct, a refund will be issued back to your original payment method. Well, good for them. Good for them. This is, it's not a game like Dustborn where only 100 people played it, but that's a single player narrative-based game. That's fine. If you bought that piece of crap, that's on you. If you bought into this, the $40 hero shooter 5v5, well, it's still on you in a way because it looked like absolute trash, but, it is what it is. You can't play the game if there's nobody playing it, right? Because it requires 5 players on each team. What are you going to do, fill it with AI and make a bad game even worse? No, you pull the plug on it. What are they going to do about it? Well, I have a feeling they're going to take it back and maybe cook it a little longer. Maybe they'll go in and re-release it as a free-to-play type thing. Add some skins to it to help generate some money for the game and the studio and all that. But I don't know if anything would work, I honestly don't. The character designs, it's not going to make the character designs any better. I heard the gameplay's okay, and the maps are kind of boring and all that. And if you're not making money off of it, how much more money is Sony willing to dump into this studio and into this game? To develop new maps, better maps, whatever. I honestly don't know. I don't know if there's any saving it at this point. I mean, I guess you could release it free to play with some skins and hope to see it limp along for a while, but I think it's poison. I just don't see it coming back, But if it does, it'll fail a second time. Especially if they don't even work with these character designs. I mean, look at this guy. He's got a clown Daw, Tactician, he, him. Yeah. Healing pads have a larger pool of available health before deactivating. Yeah, he looks like the kind of guy that wears pads. The game was plagued with negative feedback from the onset, with many players decrying the game for its ugly designs and promotion of transgender ideology with the inclusion of pronouns. Sweet Baby Inc. detected Steam curator list. Cabrutus Rambo noted at the end of May. So the effing robot has pronouns in the next Sony game. Okay. And yeah, it does. And that's super gay. I mean, look at that. He, him. And a literal, everybody made fun of this game. Amari, she, her. Okay, the blue lipstick, the ugly color. All the characters are just so foul and ugly, right? Absolutely terrible. When the game released in early access in July, it only had a peak concurrent player count of 1124. Not good. Open beta, 2388. Barely improved, doubled roughly. And then when it released, 697 on Steam. Now this doesn't count PlayStation gamers, but you know the number was not much better on PlayStation, even if it was exactly the same. Even if it was double this, 2100 players. Oh my god, not good. Not good. So on PlayStation appears PSN profiles, 1,300 individuals own the game. You can't really trust that because I think it's based on how many people have registered with that. But whatever the case may be, it didn't do well. It did crap right out of the gate. And, you know, I knew it wouldn't last long. I gave it a year, I think, maybe a couple seasons and all that. It didn't even make it through that. So good riddance to bad rubbish. I know the guys at Firewalk are sweating right now. They're probably waiting to get the word that they're all fired. And, you know, if I was in charge and you gave me this game after 8 years and I don't know how many hundreds of millions of dollars, I'd fire every single one of you and send you on your merry way. I don't care what. I don't care if you just took the garbage out for the rest of them. You'd all be gone. We purge and start over again. But let's look at what IGN has to say, because I think they gave this game a 7 out of 10, right? How does a 7 out of 10 game get pulled and refunded without people even asking for it? It's just Sony did that. Sony doesn't do that. This is kind of unprecedented. IGN writer Stella Chung made the absurd claim that PlayStation never believed in Firewalk Studios' Concord game after it was shut down less than 2 weeks after it was released. Yeah, okay. Here he is talking about it, yada, yada, yada. Chung wrote, "My heart breaks for Firewalk Studios. The fact that it wasn't even given at least 6 months to properly sit through a season and adjust as a proper live service game is insane to me. It's very clear PlayStation didn't believe in this from the start and failed to support it." Yeah, sorry Stella, but you're either stupid or you're stupid, because keeping this game running for 6 months would just be a money sink, and it would just drain the coffers even more. They would lose money on a daily basis. I think at the last count there was less than 100. Yeah, like, look at this. 43 players, 110 in the last 24 hours. How is that sustainable? You do not keep this running for 110 people. I'm sorry. It's cheaper to give them back their money than to keep these things running for another 6 months in the hopes that you what? Triple this number? Get 10 times that number? You'd want to get 100 times that number. And that still wouldn't be fantastic, you know, in 6 months. It's just terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But yeah, it declined right from the start, right? And as far as Chung's claim that PlayStation didn't believe in the game, you know, in a press release, President and CEO of Sony Interactive, Jim Ryan, lauded the acquisition of Firewalk Studios, saying it's led by a world-class team. They're highly experienced and deeply passionate about creating exceptional multiplayer games that foster memorable shared experiences. Well, thanks for this shared experiences, because a lot of us have been laughing about this game since it was first announced and the first trailer came out, making fun of it and predicting that it would fail. I knew it would fail. I didn't think it would fail in 2 weeks to this degree, though. This is amazing. I'm flabbergasted, you know. And I'm proud. You know, this is a huge win for those of us fighting against all this DEI garbage in gaming. Now, I know, you know, the DEI didn't kill this game on its own. There's a lot of other factors in it. We have a market that has it's oversaturated with this type of game. You know, your Overwatches and stuff like that. You don't need another game like this. Putting this out there and expecting it to be successful without making it stand on its own with something new and vibrant and amazing, yeah, expect it to fail, right? How are you going to pull players away from games that are better, that have been around longer, that have huge player bases, great maps, and a lot of history to them, and a lot of variety to methods of playing and stuff like that? How are you going to break into that market with a mediocre, at best, game like this? And mediocre is being kind. How are you going to break in with character designs that are so gross and ugly and boring and just... there's nothing interesting to them. Now, you can be weird, you can be cool and edgy and all that, but these characters all look like cartoon garbage. I mean, they're absolutely horrifying. Especially that one that's based off the singer. That was terrible. The stupid robot that looks like a trash can. Oh my god. And live service, you're going to charge $40 for it when there are games that are much, much better that cost nothing. $40 right out of the gate. Yeah, it's not as much as a brand new AAA game that's $70 or whatever, but Still, $40 is a lot of scratch for a piece of crap game. I don't know. I don't know what Sony was thinking. I know Sony's been leaning heavily into wanting to go into the live service market. I hope and pray that this keeps them from continuing that trend and they go, wait a minute, let's rethink all this and let's try something different. That's what I'm hoping for here. Anyway, Herman Hulst, the head of PlayStation Studios, also had some praise for him. We're thrilled to expand upon our collaborative relationship with Firewalk Studios and formally welcome the team to PlayStation Studios. We've had the privilege of working with Probably Monsters and Firewalk for several years, and our teams share the same ambition to create meaningful experiences for gamers. Firewalk's innovative approach to connected storytelling and its commitment to high-quality gameplay continues to exceed our expectations. I think fans will be very pleased when they see what Firewalk has in store for them, he added. Well, fans weren't pleased, Herman, so yeah. Is Firewalk even going to survive this? I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. And then you got people like, and here, yeah, they didn't support him at all. They made a freaking Concord controller. I guarantee you this sold more than the game. I would buy the controller if it was a little cheaper. I'm not spending $85 for this thing, but it's a cool looking controller, right? It's got neat colors and all that. If you didn't know it was Concord, you didn't know what the game was about, you'd be like, oh, that's a sharp looking controller. It's got a retro outer space look to it, right? That's what I see that's what I think when I see this. It reminds me kind of like the old Tempest games and stuff like that from back in the day, with the blues and the reds and the black background and all that. It's got that kind of vibe. Nice looking controller. I'm not spending $85 on it though, so yeah. I bet you they sold more. I wonder if you're getting refunds on those too. But yeah, they spotlighted the game in their blog. They did all kinds of stuff to promote this. They thought this was going to be another big successful live service game, and it failed. And it failed for a variety of reasons. And, part of those reasons are this and that. And the other one, where is she? The awful transgender, this one. It's just absolutely disgusting. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Ring that bell for notifications. Go on to X and celebrate this win. And my condolences to Firewalk Studios. You guys are going to be looking for jobs soon. I have that feeling. I'll see y'all next time. Until then, peace.